Welcome to the podcast. I'm Paul.
And I'm Mark.
It's a little rainy day out.
It is pouring right now.
Real rainy day.
Yeah.
And you just told me you sent in for your moose license.
I did, yeah. I think they said by July 18th or something I had to send in for the license. So
that's all done.
Check. It's all done. They sent me some information in the mail.
Did they?
Congratulating me and then telling me that they wanted a little bit more money. So
there's always money involved.
Yeah. $52, I think, for the license for a resident.
That's what I remember reading.
Yeah.
So I guess, this week's topics was actually going to be last week's topic, but someone got chosen for a moose permit, so we switched it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the right and wrong ways.
So we got two moose hunters in this room.
Two?
Yeah. I get the license, I'm the permittee, and you're the the sub-permittee.
That's right.
So, yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the topic of this, we're going to discuss kind of the right and wrong, or the quote-unquote. Sometimes you'll get people that'll say that's the wrong way to do something. And it can be open to interpretation. There's rights and wrongs that aren't.
Yeah.
There's absolute rights and wrongs in life. Yeah. And but when it gets down to hunting and fishing and stuff like that, what cued me on this topic is you get people that bring up different things. You get talking to guys and stuff. And a buddy of mine had texted me a couple weeks now and asked me what hand I retrieve my fly line with.
Yeah.
Or what hand retrieve do I keep my reel at? I guess is the way to word it. I guess I don't know how to word it.
Yeah.
And
right.
I told him I right hand cast and right hand retrieve. And he said that there was a bunch of people. He's been fly fishing for a long time. And so he's not a novice. And there's a bunch of people giving him a hard time about casting with his right hand and retrieving with his right hand.
Right.
And I said, only you determine what's the right way to retrieve your fly line. There is no right or wrong.
No, there isn't, Paul, in that regard. Not in my, and if you noticed in the fly fishing videos, I very seldom use a reel.
Oh,
I strip with the left hand and hold the rod and the line in my right hand, put it under my finger and it works for me.
So so that just got me thinking. There's a lot of things in hunting and fishing, especially when you get someone who's no longer new at it or whatever. And fly fishing can be pretentious. That can get into. I don't like the pretentiousness that comes with fly fishing.
Right.
And some fly fishermen can be, there's only one way to, whether it's catch and release or,
right.
Dry fly fishing or, so on and so forth. And people will read stuff and you kind of get this ideology in your head on how it's supposed to be done. And it's not the case. So I told him, I was like, you tell them to stuff it. Tell them to pound sand.
Yeah.
It's whatever hand is comfortable. Because he goes, I can't, he's right-handed. And he goes, it feels wicked uncomfortable to reel with my left. And if you do a little research, you'll see that like big game fishermen, like saltwater fishermen in particular, if they're right-handed, they retrieve with their right hand.
Yeah. So I guess the argument of the people that were giving this guy a hard time was you're casting the rod with your right hand. So if you're going to retrieve, reel in your reel with your right hand, you got to switch, which is not a big deal.
It takes a millisecond.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. And I always did it that way, Paul. But like I say, then most of the time I don't use the reel for.
So with trout fishermen,
and maybe that's wrong too. Maybe they would.
Trout fishermen, I think as a whole.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're not even playing the fish on the reel.
No.
Usually the only time I bring in a fish, if I'm fishing ponds and whatnot, is when I'm done fishing for the evening.
Right.
And I reel in my fly line.
Right. That's exactly.
Other than that, my reel is basically functioning as a place to hold my line while I fish. And I retrieve by stripping it in with my left hand. And unless it's a big fish, then I'll get it on the reel and play it. But there's no right or wrong.
No.
It's whatever someone feels comfortable with.
Yeah.
That's the way you should do it.
Yeah.
So it's like that with a lot of hunting and fishing. You know, you got people that, whether it's still hunting, stand hunting, tracking, they've got their, you know, ideas that, well,
Right.
this is the right way to do it, and this is the wrong way to do it. And we come from such mixed experiences. You know, we all have a lot of experiences that shaped us into whatever the fisherman or hunter we are. I don't think you should question yourself whether, as long as it's legal,
Right.
and ethical,
Yeah.
you know, you shouldn't be trying to
Tell somebody else how
perform
they,
in accordance to how
Yeah.
people are telling you should be doing it.
and really, I mean, like, what difference does it make to somebody how I reel my fishing?
Oh my God, no.
You know it. But I will say this, you know, if you're into a sport and you're just getting into it, whether it be archery or shooting, and it's good to learn sound fundamentals and
Fundamentals are
in
important.
doing it. That being said, a lot of us end up being self-taught, and we pick up maybe what some would consider bad habits,
Yeah.
Paul. But you've done them for so long, you're comfortable with them, and they work for you now.
Yep.
But like I say, if you're just starting out, I know that in archery, I get into archery a few years back, so I watched a lot of videos and read some books on it because I wanted to get the proper fundamentals in, you know, thinking it would help me be a better shooter down the road.
Yeah.
And so, like I say, I tried to learn the proper fundamentals, and it would have helped me a lot to be with an experienced archer, and you know,
Definitely.
he could have showed me, and
I've got fundamentals written here, starred in
Yeah.
big letters.
yeah, I didn't know that either.
yeah.
But it's good, and it's the same way with fly fishing and stuff, and in any sport. I don't care if you're shooting a basketball, shooting free throws or whatever, and if you have good sound fundamentals, it'll probably help you in the long run. But like I say, the problem is a lot of us over the years have gotten into different sports and we're self-taught. I always think of like Rick Barry being one of the great foul shooters, and he did it a way that very, very few people do it. I don't think anybody does it now, is he shot scoop underhand.
No kidding.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember Rick Barry or not.
I know the name.
Yeah, he was a very good shot and a very good foul shooter, and he shot foul shots underhand,
Yeah, no kidding.
scoop shot.
Well, I
So-
told Chris when he told me, when he was like, God, he was kind of questioning himself. He's like, am I doing it wrong? I'm like, what do you think people told Jimi Hendrix when he was playing guitar?
Yeah, upside, yeah, backwards or
Played
whatever.
backwards.
Yeah,
I'm sure they
yeah,
had all kinds of people telling him,
yeah,
Jimmy, you're playing guitar wrong.
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
Now, would you say Jimi Hendrix, you're playing guitar wrong?
yeah, yeah. And
think he had it figured out.
He could never turn that around. I shouldn't say never, but it just wasn't going to happen to him.
Well, and that brings up another topic is because it was done in an unconventional manner, he's getting sounds out of that guitar that someone who did it in a conventional way isn't going to be able to replicate it.
Right.
And that's what happens with a lot of these things. And you see it in videography
Yeah.
and stuff, and like editing guys, especially novice, they won't know what they're doing. Sometimes they'll be a trendsetter because they'll be doing something that's quote unquote not correct,
Right.
but they don't know it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of catches. First, you get people that it's going against the grain. You get people that are like, no, that's not how you do it. That's not how you, and then all of a sudden it kind of catches on.
Yeah.
Then it goes from being the wrong way to do it to being a trend.
Unique.
And
Yeah.
it's all because someone didn't know the correct way, quote unquote, correct way, and was just free to kind of do it however they felt.
So
without
that's
being put in a box.
interesting because I do everything right-handed, and I'm a and when I started tying flies, that was
Oh, you do that backwards.
I do it left-handed,
Yeah, you do. I forgot about
and
that.
I didn't even know it, and that was a situation. And I do everything right-handed. I don't do anything left-handed except tie flies, and I'm I've done it for 55 years. I started when I was 10 years old. I had no books. I had a little kit. I had no books, had no videos at the time. And so it was just put a hook in a vise and go at it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did that with my left hand, but I did. And there's no way at this stage of the game.
You're not unlearning it.
I'm not going to go to my right hand.
No, there's so much muscle memory there.
Yeah.
And that's like that with fly fishing. I don't think about switching hands. It's so natural to be fishing and then to get a fish on the reel. I don't think about it. It just all happens really quick. But back to that left hand, right hand thing. So probably, and people can probably relate if you're left-handed. A lot of left-handed people do a lot of quirky stuff. Like Lacy's like that. So she's left-handed.
My mom's left-handed.
She's left-handed by, I guess, determined by how she writes. But Lord, she'll do, I think, like tennis. She plays like right-handed.
Yeah.
I think she bats right-handed.
Yeah, my dad did that.
She swings other things left. It's like all over the board.
Yeah, my dad did that. He was right-handed to right, but he batted in left-handed, and if he played tennis or whatever, he did it with his left hand.
No kidding.
Yeah.
She's all over the board. It's like, I think tennis and swinging a bat are opposite.
Yeah.
And she crochets right-handed.
Yeah.
But I think that comes from mom taught her.
Yeah.
And mom's right-handed.
Yeah.
And she didn't, I don't think she realized she was teaching Lacy.
Yeah.
You know, it was doing it right-handed. And Lacy's like, I don't think I could crochet.
Yeah.
I think it's crocheting or knitting. I mean, whatever. It's one of them.
Yeah, but getting back to the fly tying, Paul, that was just because I had nobody to show me how to do it, and I just picked it up. And why I went to my left hand, I don't know, because I don't do anything left-handed. But you put a hook in a vise, and I'm very comfortable tying a fly with my
backwards
with my left hand.
Do you turn it backwards?
No,
when you do it.
No, I go counterclockwise.
Okay,
I wind counterclockwise. So if you looked at the eye, it would be counterclockwise, Paul. So I don't know why I do it. That's
when I tie,
that's just the way I did it.
If you look at the eye, it's going to be clockwise.
Yeah. No, mine is counterclockwise.
Yeah, that's right. It would be. You're left-handed.
Yeah.
If you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm going over the top away from me. Yeah. When I go over the top.
Huh.
And that was just like I say. It was just something that, and I think that's where people, you know, they pick up what some would consider bad habits, but they learn a different way. Yeah. We'll say. Well, they learn their own unique way. Well, for whatever reason, it feels comfortable to them, and then if you do it long enough, you're probably not going to change.
No, I think it was Larry. If I remember right, I remember reading this might be back in middle school, reading a book on Larry Bird. You know, Larry Bird shoots off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of off to, I think, his right ear. I think he's right-handed, and I think I'll have to double check, but I think in that book it talks about, because it was kind of an unconventional shot method, and he was a good shot.
Yeah,
and he said he couldn't see. He wanted to see the basketball hoop.
Right. Yeah.
And to shoot a jump shot.
Yeah.
So he just started shooting off to the side over his shoulder.
When you get into sports like basketball and baseball, I mean, the hitters do it a lot of different ways. And although there's a lot of hitting coaches that in every team has a hitting coach, and they try to teach players the fundamentals, and, you know, but there's a lot of them that have developed, and you're probably not going to tell Ted Williams to switch his batting or Larry Bird to change how he shoots a basketball and stuff. And interesting thing about Larry Bird, he played an entire game with his left hand, shooting left-handed one game.
Did he break or do something to his?
Nope. He just told everybody.
He was a trash talker.
He said, he just said, I'm going to play the entire game with my left hand. Every shot he took was with his left hand. And I think he scored 30-something points in the game. It was phenomenal.
He was insane. I can remember hearing all these stories about, he would literally look at the bench or the guy that was guarding him.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd be like, they're going to pass me the ball. I'm going right over there, and I'm going to shoot that ball right there.
There's nothing you can do about it.
No. And they're like, he literally would do exactly what you said or what he said and make it. They're like, man, that guy was just.
Yeah. Yeah, he was something
insane.
Else.
Yeah. So. And if you look at the guy, he was unimpressionable as far as athleticism.
Yeah, he wasn't athletic
You know,
or anything. He wasn't going to jump over the hoop or
skinny,
anything like that.
lanky.
Yeah, he had a basketball IQ that was, he could play the game. So,
and obviously had confidence.
Yeah,
in himself.
and that's a big thing in anything. Yeah. Believing what you can do.
If you can tell someone exactly what you're going to do, not
confidence
bat an eyelash
is
about it.
Confidence is a big thing in anything in life.
Yeah.
So,
hunting in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You gotta think you're going to make the shot.
Yeah.
If not, you probably won't.
Well, we just going out in the field and, believing that it's going to happen.
That you're going to see something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because boys, sometimes it's hard to believe that.
Yeah. Doubt can creep in.
Am I just walking around here aimlessly by myself?
Yeah.
Looking for like a needle in a haystack?
Yeah. About as much of a chance to see a Sasquatch as it is a white-tailed deer sometimes up here. So.
And I know I've talked about this a lot. There's always a guy at camp. He would always, it's hard to articulate it, but I knew exactly what he was talking about. He's like, yeah, you hunt all season. Usually you don't see a whole lot going on. And then you see a deer and there's this like momentary processing of like.
Is that actually a deer?
That's not supposed to be there. And I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like you get this.
Yeah, they're out of place because you're spending days and days looking at forest.
Yeah.
And there's no deer there looking back at you. And all of a sudden there is one looking back at you. And yeah.
So when it comes to, hunting and fishing, there's two things that I guess I use to ensure that I'm doing something the way I should be doing it. One is I use logic and pleasure. Does it make sense, whatever I'm doing?
Right.
And do I enjoy doing it?
Right.
And
yeah,
if it starts being a thing where, well, so-and-so says I should be doing this, and this book says I should be doing that, and there's also all kinds of nuances, especially when someone gains experience with this stuff. There's a lot of nuances that you make decisions on based upon your experience and past hunts.
Yeah, past experience.
Maybe 99.9% of the time it might be quote unquote wrong.
Right.
But at that particular time,
that
might be the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
And some people will do things that are based upon experience.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is what I should do right here.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in that moment.
Yeah.
But from an outsider looking in, it might be like, why is that guy doing that? Doesn't make any sense, but it does that to them for one reason or another.
Yeah. Yeah, and hunting is a sport that the methods vary widely, Paul. You have still hunters, you have trackers, you have stand hunters, people that sit in tree stands, and people that watch fields or over food plots, and even baiting. Yeah.
Baiting bear.
Yeah.
Hunting with dogs. Some places you can hunt deer with dogs.
Yeah, I mean, you can in Maine, so yeah.
Hunt deer with dogs?
No, excuse me. I thought you said bear.
No.
Yeah. Down south, it's a thing. Yeah. But there's a lot of different.
I had someone tell me one time, said the only thing that would make your deer hunt better is if you were hunting with a dog. Like, that's not legal.
No, not up here. No.
What were you going to say about?
No, well, just like I say, the hunting, but even in fishing too, Paul. You have people that they like to troll, and you have people that like to fly fish, and people that like to fish brooks with a worm and a little spin casting rod, and there's a lot of different varieties of fish, and a lot of different ways you can fish them.
And a lot of that boils down to personal
what you
preference,
like to do.
And a lot of it stems from how they were taught and those memories that they have.
Right, how they were brought up doing. Oh, for sure, that's a big thing in
small pond fishing is. I really enjoy. That's where I learned to fly fish, and I really enjoy it. But I did really enjoy myself this year fishing the stream that we were on up in the woods.
Yeah,
that was fun. I don't do that enough.
Yeah, I used to. I cut my teeth on that, Paul, fishing in a little brook behind the house there that with worms.
Same brook. I fished when I was a kid.
Yeah, I caught a lot of fish out of that brook when I was a kid. So, dunking worms. Yeah.
Go dig some worms and
Yeah.
grab your spinning rod. And
Yeah.
you could catch a pile of fish.
You could.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's still fish in that brook.
I've looked at the brook from the hill. They built a new school right at the top of the hill overlooking the brook, and it doesn't look anything like I remember it. It's all open. The beavers have flooded the area, of course, and it's
Oh, really?
yeah, it's all open. Back when I was a kid, it was a brook, and now it looks like a big marsh.
No kidding.
Because the beavers flooded the area, and then the trees died, and so it's all open down there.
I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still fish in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is, Paul.
Oh, you just catch a lot of fish. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Do you have any trail cameras out?
I still have a trail. I got to go in and get that.
You haven't checked that?
I got to go in and get it, Paul. And also, trail cameras will be a little different this year in the sense that we'll be scouting for moose.
Yeah.
I'll put some trail cameras out, maybe where some areas I think we might find some moose.
Yeah.
So, and
I can't believe I'm already thinking about trail cams.
Well, it's like I say, we're pushing July here, so
End of June.
and it goes by fast. Days are getting shorter now,
I know.
Paul.
They get ticked at work when I said that the other day.
Yeah.
I'm in the 20th. The longest day of the year. Excuse me, longest day of the year was the 20th this year, right?
Yeah, somewhere in that 21st. I'm not sure.
This
which.
year was a day earlier, so I went in the 21st.
Yeah.
And I went in the day after. And it's like, oh, days started getting shorter.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes by quick up here. That so we'll be into September's not that far off.
No, and the way time goes by now.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man.
And then once we get to the 1st of December or September, you'll start getting serious on the moose hunting deal. So
Yeah.
Do some scouting and checking trail cams and stuff. So.
Well, we did the giveaway winner too.
Yes. Yeah.
Recently.
I watched that this morning or last night, Paul. Last night, I think I watched it.
Old Man Coyote Outdoors won the hat and the lures.
Where's he from?
Ohio.
Oh, no
believe,
kidding. Yeah, Buckeye.
Yeah, it's from Ohio.
Yeah.
So those will be sent out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Lacy said she'll send them out for me.
Yeah. I'd do it for you if you wanted me to, Paul.
She's the one that she ships stuff basically on a daily basis.
And that was your last hat.
I gotta have some more made.
Yeah, you do need to have.
Maybe some hoodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I end up giving it all away. I don't want to.
Yeah, you're not a merch guy.
I'm not into selling the
Yeah.
stuff and
yeah. I
have a hard enough time.
I take a t-shirt and a hoodie, Paul.
Yeah, I should have some made up. I've asked Lacy to come up with a design because I haven't really felt like trying to design.
Yeah, that would be right up her alley.
Design a clothing line.
Yeah. Well, you get your logo there.
But you kind of want a nice place to put them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options. Stuff. So I've been trying to get her to sit down,
come up with something,
and do that.
Yeah,
do that for me. But I end up giving the stuff away. People work hard for their money, and there's enough people that are out there.
Yeah.
Trying to get everyone's money. It's like it's all social media is like.
Yeah.
Have a side gig, do a side gig.
Yeah.
It's like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
You only can take so much of that.
I saw a little show the other day and they were talking about, I'd already mentioned him once, Ted Williams. And he had a neck injury one season and he batted in the 250s. His first year he ever batted below 300. And he told the team, the owner of the team, he said that he would come back, but he wouldn't accept his full salary. He wanted his salary cut the max. I think the max they could cut it was 25%.
No kidding.
And he said,
didn't think he was
I didn't play well enough to earn the salary that you paid me. He said, so when I come back the next year, he wanted a 25% cut in his salary. Who would do that? Especially now in today's world. It's
good to have a conscience.
Yeah.
You want to be,
Yeah.
he probably did awesome the following year. And
Yeah, I don't know. That was, it may have been towards the end of his career too. And, things were, I think they said he was the highest paid player in baseball at the time. And I can't remember his salary. They did mention it. It may have been 100,000, maybe a little better a year, which was back then was a lot of money. Yeah, but he said he wanted a 25% cut in his salary to play the next year.
Didn't live up to his expectations anyway.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, there's a lot of that. Everyone's a salesman.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people are.
Sometimes it feels like there's a lot of hands in your pocket there and stuff. And I think a lot of, and everybody notices that and stuff, it's just the way the world operates now. I don't care whether you go have your car worked on or you need appliances or whatever. No, and the quality goes down and the price goes up.
Yeah. I was talking to Lacy about that the other day. You get people that, show up at your house for different things. One of them was like solar stuff. Yeah. And I was trying to explain to her, like, they're not here for my benefit.
That's exactly right.
I didn't seek them out.
When you get a call from the insurance man to selling life insurance, he's not calling because out of the goodness of his heart.
He's here because there's something in it for him. And I finally got one of the guys. I was busy. I kept saying, no, come back another time. I'm thinking, it sounds really good. And I'm just blunt. Yeah. So what's in it for you? Like, what how's this?
Right.
Because you're not here for the fun of it. You're not here to help me out. You don't know who I am.
Right.
You just showed up on my doorstep and you're awful adamant.
Yeah.
How much this is going to help me.
Yeah.
So what's it doing for you? And went around in circles he was here 3 or 4 times. And then finally, he had to come out and I'm like, so you're just playing the middleman here.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not.
It's the same way, Paul. Service contracts, extended warranties. They're not asking that, and they tell you, well, I knew somebody that they bought this appliance or whatever. And I said, well, are you telling me the appliance is no good?
Yeah,
that it broke, or but they're not offering that out of the goodness, like you say, out of the goodness of their heart as a benefit for you. And come to find out, if you do the research, you find that some of these companies, they make more profit on extended warranties and maintenance contracts than they do the actual selling of the product. Yeah. So let the buyer beware.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we get on it because there's a guy going around.
Knowledge is power, and
selling children's books, and which is fine. I'm sure he's a nice guy and stuff. But like I was telling her, I'm like, if I am in need of a book, I'll buy a book. Yeah. I don't why do I need this book all of a sudden so bad? Yeah. And she's like, well, sounds like he's a really nice guy. I'm sure, but I'm not buying a book because he's a nice guy.
Right. Yeah.
If I need a book, I'll buy a book.
He's a salesman. At any time you're pitching something, you want to at least appear like you're a nice guy, Paul. You don't. Yeah. You don't want to look like a jerk if you're coming into somebody's house and trying to get them to buy something. So they all appear to be nice people, and
I'd be the greatest guy on earth. But
if I don't is the product going to do you any good? Is it going to bring any benefit to your life? Or
So everyone's...
It's the world we live in.
Yeah.
That's the world. So.
Yeah. Well, back on, you're talking about warranties. Toyota's having a rough time with their pickup trucks.
I've heard that there's,
I'd read an article that...
The 6-cylinder twin turbos that,
I've read articles that people that want to trade them in, like dealerships won't even take them in on trade.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not good.
Toyota always, they were very conservative in making changes, and their stuff stayed the same for years and years with very little changes, and it was super reliable and super well built.
Yeah.
And then they all of a sudden, 2021 was the year that they they did away with the V8s. And
I will say though, I gotta wonder. I got digging around a little bit, and when my engine had the 5.7, that I think there was a lot of the same stuff going around. That it's not gonna.
Yeah,
they're having issues with it. Now that's a proven
right. And they kept
engine.
They kept those engines for years and years. And other companies are always changing things. They're always, new technology, new this. We're updating this, and and Toyota was always known not to do that type of thing. That they stuck with what, and they would use it across different vehicles too.
Yeah, they're pretty good about even like mirrors and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And that's
little things that they would use the same on different vehicles.
That's a good
models.
business decision.
Yeah.
Because when you get,
when
you see some of these companies, like everything is specific for that vehicle.
Right.
Boys, that doesn't.
You got to manufacture all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into that than having something that can be used for multiple. And
it's funny. I read the articles there, and well, Toyota hasn't. That's the same truck that they were making 10 years ago and stuff, and they were making it sound bad, but I thought it was a fantastic thing. Okay, they've been making it 10 years. They probably know what they're doing with it now and
stuff. It is if like functionality and reliability is at the top of your list. A lot of people want to stand out.
Yeah, they want the bells and whistles. Yeah,
and because like Lacy's 4Runner. They still really don't look any different.
No.
Like I could never justify buying another 4Runner right now. I mean, you'd never even know that you have a different vehicle.
Yeah.
They stayed the same for so long. But I will say my truck, that kind of 2018, 2019 with the V8 is pretty sought after.
Yeah. I bet it is.
They sell used for a lot of money.
Yeah.
Basically what I paid.
Yeah.
New for mine.
Yeah, so that is going to be a tough decision if and when I need a new vehicle down the road. I plan on keeping the one I got for a long time. One
of the guys at work was asking me he's like, you must be about due for a new vehicle. It's like 5 or 6 years old. And I'm like, I don't know what I would buy.
Yeah.
There's nothing that really appeals to me.
Right.
And there's nothing that I want.
Right.
Like, I know people say, well, it gets bad gas mileage, but I didn't buy a truck for good gas mileage.
No, I get 16 overall with mine. That's overall, just so, I don't know what the full-size truck gets now, a new Ford or whatever, how much they get overall, but it's probably not that big of a.
I not to justify the price tag and the headache that comes with keeping something more than, I don't know, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Seems like everything's designed to break.
Yeah.
At a given time.
Yeah. That's
by design.
That's called planned obsolescence.
Yeah.
They've done that for years. And they do it more now than they ever did.
Appliances have gotten ridiculously notorious.
Yeah. You used to be able to buy a refrigerator last 30 years. Yeah. Now it's under 10. So and like I say, it's planned obsolescence just to keep you coming back.
Heck, and you can spend $5,000 on a fridge for crying out loud.
Yeah, well, not me.
No problem.
That's
but the option's there.
Yeah,
it's like, geez.
Yeah. So.
But how'd we get on appliances?
Yeah, we went all over the map there, Paul. So. Anything
else you want to add?
No, I guess the original topic there of do things the way that, that you're comfortable with. But if you are getting into a new sport, like I say, whether it be fly fishing or archery, maybe seek out some people that, that have done it for a long time, that know what they're doing, and they can maybe get you started with the correct fundamentals.
Yeah. Make the learning a little bit easier.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you don't end up like me and do things backwards, 60 years later. So
people are the human body is very adaptable.
Yeah, it is.
That's what someone had.
Well, like you said, muscle memory, Paul, and stuff. That
someone had commented one time that, because I'm big on like how a shotgun fits, we'll say. And a lot of people, like a good shotgun, it really should fit you well. And it doesn't have to. Yeah. I can shoot shotguns that don't fit me well at all, just fine. Yeah. And use them no problem. And so the argument had come up that was a bunch of bogus. You don't need a gun to fit you appropriately. And I'm like, no, I disagree. Where you can, if you have a gun that you've used for 20 years and say it doesn't fit you properly, but you've
adapted,
you've adjusted, that gun, and you probably can shoot it phenomenally. But if you take 10 guns that you've never picked up a day in your life, and you have one gun in a monk set, say 10 guns, that just shoulders perfect, everything matches up perfect, you're gonna shorten your learning curve of shooting with that gun immensely.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've had guns that for some reason I just like out ski shooting and get a new gun. Man, I just can't seem to hit very good with that. And then you kind of figure out, if you have a gun that fits you well,
for sure, Paul, you would never find somebody that was a real good skeet shooter or trap shooter, that didn't have a custom gun.
Oh my God, yeah.
That it's just like a golf club or whatever. You know, golfers don't go into.
Some people just like to argue for the sake of arguing, but
that's if you're gonna at that level, you want everything to be as good.
Yeah.
To fit as good as it can possibly be. What that argument is that the average Joe Doe like myself isn't going to really worry about that too much,
And you'll do just fine.
And
you'll get by.
We'll do all right.
Yeah.
But there's no question that, having stuff tailored to is going to help you.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. For sure.
Whether I'm not a golfer, but people get fitted for golf clubs.
Oh, yeah. And
all that stuff.
I can guarantee that everybody on the tour has
custom golf clubs.
Custom golf clubs.
For them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weight preference. Some people like guns that handle a certain way.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people want a gun that swings a little differently. Yeah. Weight plays a big factor in that. I'm not good at a lot of that stuff. Good enough that I would notice a difference, but they would notice a difference. Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, even looking at you, someone who knows what they're talking about, they're watching you, whatever it is that you're doing, in that area that they're an expert in. They can tell just by looking at how someone's handling something.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you could improve here, and here.
Yeah,
and make your experience a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, so that, like I say, the important thing is, I guess, if you want to get into any sport, fly fishing, shooting, hunting, hang around somebody, get to know somebody that's well versed in it, and they'll help you out a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shorten that learning curve a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when you learn on your own,
you
make a lot. You learn by mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes those mistakes are costly.
Yeah.
Financially and sometimes just downright painful.
Yeah.
God, I shouldn't have done that.
Physically painful. Yeah.
That was a long day for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe going backwards on a deer track. That'd be a painful day.
That would be a painful day, or tracking a squirrel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some people think squirrel tracks.
You know that story. I was hunting with a guy, and there was squirrel tracks there, and he called them deer tracks. And I thought, man, I don't want to track with you, I'll tell you that.
We're going to be chasing a lot of squirrels.
Yeah.
This deer track went right up that tree.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a true story.
Well, you can't climb trees.
Yeah. So...
self-proclaimed expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had told me, too, he'd shot a deer over 200 pounds. I think he'd said he'd shot a deer over 200 pounds. It was a lot of years ago. That was probably more than 40 years ago.
Yes.
Or close to it, anyway.
All righty.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll be getting some cameras out soon. And
yeah.
Man, already starting to transition into... I'm not done fishing, though.
No, I was just going to say that, Paul. We'll try to get some more fishing in. Maybe a hex hatch. That's coming right up.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A week or two, they'll be hatching. So
then we'll have some fall fishing too.
Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
When things warm up here, end of July and
the
beginning
dog days of
August.
summer, the fly fishing is
that starts to go to the wayside.
Yeah.
Gives me some time to get some projects done and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been doing that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But alrighty. I guess that's it.
All right. I'm good.
So I guess until next time, get outside.
It's good for the soul.
See ya.